If you're planning to visit Korea, you're probably going to wind up in Myeongdong at some point to sample some of the street food here. But before you do, let me tell you about my favorite Korean street food.
이번 역은 횡탐역입니다. 내리실 문은 오른쪽입니다. This stop is Haengdang. The doors are on your right.
I wanted to call this video my favorite old school Korean street food, but the problem is the version of it that I eat today and that you find almost everywhere isn't really old school. This place that I'm taking you to now, they have the old school version, so I'm gonna go there to show you that. So, plan B. The place wasn't open yet. They're supposed to open at 10 o'clock. The young lady in there told me that she won't be ready until 1:30 today. It's after 12 now. I think it's like 12:30 or something. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go first to Hwangsimni Station because there's something there I want to show you. My second favorite Korean street food. It's 12:30 now. All right, this will work out pretty good. So I'm gonna go there, pick up this other thing, show you that, and then come back here and we'll get what I wanted here. So, let's go. So that's Hwangsimni Station. We're heading over there just on the other side of it. Gonna go underground. All right, so even after 32 years in Korea, my pronunciation sometimes is a little off. Some words are a little difficult for me. This is one of them, but this is called ingobang. And ingo is a carp. It looks more like a goldfish than a carp. But there's a couple of variations of this. The ingo variation is made with a glutinous rice flour. And you can see it's dark inside. That's the pot. The pot is like mashed red beans. It's sweet. And you can see the red beans inside. Now there's another version called bungo-bang. Bungo is a kind of carp, a specific kind of carp. And the bungo, I think, tends to be a little bit bigger than this, maybe a little thicker, but you can't see the contents on the inside. So, and also the bungo-bang, I think, is just made with normal flour, but this is made with the chapsa, the glutinous rice flour. But anyway, yeah, this one has the red beans inside. He makes them just right. They're nice and crispy on the outside, and then you got the mushy interior and then the pot. And like this one, they call it shoe cream, but it's actually custard. I kind of like this better because, when I first came to Korea, I really didn't like the pot all that much, but over time, I've kind of come to like it. It's an acquired taste for me anyway. But but this is, I think, better. But this is not the main event. The main event is coming up. We're going to go back over there to the little place that was closed earlier, and I'm going to show you what it is. All right, so I'm back at the first place. It's called Street 1988. They sell classic Korean street food. I've ordered. They're open now. She's making it for me. I'm going to go back in and get it in a second. Now, they also sell bungeoppang, which I mentioned earlier, and I was surprised to see that there's a place over here I didn't notice before that's selling bungeoppang too, and I'm going to have to try that one day, but not today because I'm going to be stuffing my face with the stuff I'm going to show you later on, so got to take it easy. Anyway, I'll pick this up when it's ready, and then I'll head out. This is the classic version of my favorite Korean street food, right here. Okay, it's called keranbang. Literally translates to egg bread. Bang means bread, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. So this is the classic style. This is, as far as I know, it's the classic style. This is the only style I used to see. I think the first time I had egg bread was probably in 1993, and those days this is what you got when you bought egg bread. It didn't matter where you bought it from. All the street vendors, they sold it this way that I saw. I never saw any other variation. The bread is what makes it, right? Inside you've got an egg, but the bread, it tastes different from vendor to vendor. And in some places, you know, the sugar, the sweet is dominant. My favorite is when the butter is dominant. I don't like the sweet form. And sometimes it tastes a little mealy, especially today. Street 1998, this is the only place I know right now to buy this kind of egg bread. I haven't seen it anywhere else in a long time. The new style that I'm going to show you in just a little bit, I think the first time I saw that was probably around 2009, 2010, something like that. I don't remember exactly. But anyway, I do miss this. Now, Street 1998 is not the best. Like I said, it's the only place I know where to buy this. I've had it a couple times already. It's a little bit bland and a little on the sweet side for my taste, but you know, I wanted to show it to you anyway. So you gotta make sure when you eat these that this kind, that egg inside is gonna be really hot if it's right off the grill, right? So you wanna make sure you give it time to cool down a little bit because that egg will burn you. So I just bought this a few minutes ago. It's cold out here, so it should be cool enough to eat now. And like I said, this one, a little on the sweet side, not really my thing. But if you want to try the old style Korean egg bread, keranbang, Street 1998 is the place to get it. Now, if you're in Korea and you know anywhere in Seoul where I can find the old style keranbang from a street vendor or an actual street vendor, please let me know in the comments because I'd really like to know. Right now, I'm going to take you over to Myeongdong and I'm going to show you the modern variation. And you know, another thing to mention, this cost me 1,500 won. Now, this form of keranbang, when I've heard that it was first sold outside of university in Incheon in 1984. And it was 100 won. Now, I think probably in the early 90s, I don't remember exactly, I was probably paying 300 won for it. And I do know that around 2010, 2011, this was 500 won. Now, 1,500 won today, just 13 years later. And the new form of egg bread typically is around 1,500 to 2,000 won at most vendors. So yeah, a little more expensive than it used to be. So like I said, we're heading over to Myeongdong, and I could go and take the subway from Hwangshimi Station. It's on line 2. Uchiro Ipgu Station, which is outside Myeongdong, is on line 2. But we're gonna hoof it. I gotta get my 10,000 steps in. I hope you like to walk. All right, there are several egg bread vendors in Myeongdong, but my favorite is right in front of me here. If you're coming from the Myeongdong Cathedral, which is behind me, if you're coming from that direction, she's usually the first egg bread vendor you'll see, usually right here in this position, right here. This is the kind of egg bread you're always going to find at the street vendors these days that sell them. Now, there are several that sell them in Myeongdong. This lady that I buy them from, usually I like the way hers taste best out of all the ones in Myeongdong. And yeah, very, very buttery. I love this. Just notice here, the egg is on the outside, not the inside. And this one actually has cheese on top. The orange stuff here is cheese. Now, here in Myeongdong, they used to sell egg bread that had like all kinds of stuff on top, nuts, seeds, whatever. These days, almost all of them just sell plain egg bread. But she sells the plain and the cheese. I usually buy the cheese because they're 2,001. The plain egg bread that she sells is 1,500. I don't like to deal with change, you know, so I give her 2,000 and just get the cheese bread, or I might buy two of the plain egg bread. But today I'm going to eat a lot more egg bread, so I'm only buying one, so I got the cheese. And I like the cheese also because it has a little bit of a salty kick to it that it adds to the buttery taste of the bread. But yeah, they have, this lady, her recipe is really, really good. She has the way she makes it with the butter. Oh, that is so good. The other egg bread you'll buy in Myeongdong, the plain egg bread, is almost all 2001. And they're actually kind of bigger than this one. Notice how the thickness of this bread. The other Gyeongbang vendors have it a little bit thicker. So hers are a little more thin than the others. And maybe that's why she gets away with selling the plain for 1,500 instead of 2,000. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, if you come to Myeongdong, the first Gyeongbang vendor, if you're coming from the direction of the Myeongdong Cathedral, that's my favorite. Really dominant buttery taste. Now, my favorite in all of Seoul is actually in Hongdae. And I'm gonna go get on the subway and show you where that egg bread vendor is. The taste is a little bit different than this one. Let's go. Now, I call it my favorite egg bread in Seoul. Obviously, I've not tried all the Gyeongbang all over Seoul, so I don't know what else, I might be missing. There may be something even better out there, but I really like this. And I'm standing right outside gate 8, or I should say right inside gate 8, and we're gonna go right up these stairs and do a little hook there, and right next to the gate, we should find our Gyeongbang. Usually lady, sometimes a guy is there. But yeah, this is really good, so let's go check it out. And there it is. This is 2001, and oh, that's good. Definitely thicker. And this one has the buttery taste, like the one in Myeongdong does, but also it has a little bit of that meal taste I was talking about earlier. And that's why I like this. It's got the meal and the butter, and they just go together so well. I really love this. Now, not all Gyeongbang vendors give you these little paper cups, but I like the ones that do. Some of them will give you these little slips of cardboard, but the problem with that is sometimes the eggs, if they've been sitting there for a while, even just a short while, they'll get this film on the top that makes them really hard to bite into. It's you got to tear it, and when you're doing that, sometimes the egg can come off the bread. And if you've got that little thin cardboard thing that they give you, the bread just falls apart and you can lose most of it, if not all of it. So with the cup, you don't run into that problem. If the egg happens to tear off, the bread is right here in the cup. It'll catch it for you. Don't lose any of it. Man, I hate losing my egg bread. I got to eat it all. So you know what? Why don't I do that? I'll be right back. So I got one more place to show you. It's on my way home. I'm going to hop on the subway and get off at Yaksu Station, and I'll show you this little place. This lady's there just Saturdays and Sundays. Doesn't come out any other time. So I'm going to try to catch her before she shuts down for the day. All right, good. She's still there. I was afraid she might be gone already. I'm not sure exactly what time she packs up, but here we are. So the Keiranbang here is 2001, like it's been everywhere else. And she puts it in a bag rather than a cup or the little cardboard strip. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Nice and thick like the one out in Sinchon. Yeah, now this is chewy. And you know, the one in Sinchon I said was a little bit buttery and a little bit mealy, and that's why I like it, because it's got both. This one is more mealy. The butter is, there's just a hint of it. I like the butter and I like the meal, so my favorite is where they're both, you know, popping. But, you know, like I said before, the one in Myeongdong, my favorite one in Myeongdong is mostly buttery. You get mostly the buttery flavor. This one, you get mostly the meal flavor. And the one out of Sinchon, you get both. When you're looking for street food in Korea, I strongly recommend you try Keiranbang, and, you know, try multiple places if you got the time, so you can find, you know, your favorite. You might not like the ones I like, but I would of course recommend that you start there first. I'm gonna show more street food on the channel later on down the road. I don't want this to become a food channel. I'm not a foodie. I mean, I like to eat, but I'm far from being a foodie. So I'll try to show some more street food and other stuff here later on. But anyway, I was checking my iPhone and I've gotten in over 17,000 steps today. That's not normal for me in Seoul. When I travel, yeah, you know, my wife and I walk around London or Berlin or wherever, but here, you know, 10, 12,000 is typically what I do, so I'm feeling it. I feel good, actually, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. I don't know why that expression exists. Babies wake up in the middle of the night crying, don't they? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and if you enjoy, you know what to do, and I'll try to put more up on the channel later on. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. This kind and that kind were being sold at the same time, and I kept buying this from my put the day in front of anything's like a prefix. It's
Hi, welcome to Korea.